Welcome to Universe Live. I'm Trevor Myers.
And I'm Derek Van Buskirk. It's Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Starting in 2024, Meta will require political advertisers to disclose any use of artificial intelligence within their ads.
This new policy covers any political or social ad that distorts the truth.
Senator Mike Lee speaks in D.C. about preventing the government from spying on and stealing civilians' data.
Very often, the people whose rights have been violated aren't even aware that their rights have been violated.
Senator Lee is advocating to not allow the government to seize data without a warrant.
BYU researchers may have found a way to prevent or soften PTSD memories before they are even created. BYU scientists tested medication for PTSD pre-treatment in rats and got favorable results, which they hope will help military personnel.
Provo City begins plans to enhance 100 West with wider sidewalks, reverse angle parking, and utility upgrades. These changes come as the new Frontrunner Station pedestrian bridge nears completion nearby.
Provo's new wastewater plant is under construction. The city is currently working on the first phase of the plant. The project is expected to be completed by the next year and up and running by 2025.
2023 comes with a unique anniversary for Shakespeare and his legacy. This past weekend, a local bookstore celebrated the 400th year anniversary of the first group of his plays being published. Universe Live reporter Cindy Merrill was there and takes us to the event.
I'm here at the Artifacts of History bookstore in Provo, holding a 400-year-old copy of one of Shakespeare's first publications, or first folio. I'm spending the evening enjoying art and diving deep into Shakespeare. There's a bookstore tucked inside the Provo Town Center Mall where BYU English major Charity Ford found the college job of her dreams. Ford helps the Artifacts of History bookstore come to life with her knowledge of history and literature.
The first folio was the very first published collection of Shakespeare's plays.
Ford teaches the audience that the first folio was published in 1623.
I just love how fundamentally human it is. We're using this invention, this human invention of language, to try to capture what it is to just feel and to think and to be or not to be, as he says.
They gathered all kinds of old Shakespeare editions for audience members to hold and flip through. Ford believes that books and stories connect people.
My favorite literature is literature that I feel validates my existence. Like, oh yes, this is what it feels like to be me.
The owner of the bookstore, C.J. Peterson, is an avid collector.
So I've always loved books. I've been collecting books since I was a kid. My mom always thought it was funny. I'd go to garage sales.
Now Peterson has 2 home libraries and a store with people coming together to connect and learn. This way, everyone has access to the history and
I love Shakespeare.
to Shakespeare. And hundreds of years later, we're still learning about it, still talking about it, still reading Shakespeare. I'm Cindy Merrill, reporting for Universe Live in Provo.
Double taps and retweets, snaps and screenshots. Gen Z has grown up with the language of social media, but how do they feel about that?
Universe Live reporter Emma Everett Johnson is in the newsroom. Emma, you chatted with Gen Zers to get their perspective. What did they have to say about it?
BYU students have lots to say about social media, and some of it might surprise you.
I don't think I've met anyone who thinks I'm weird for not having it.
It's hard for me to imagine a life without it at this point.
We don't want to completely eliminate it because once again it does provide a lot of good in the world.
I definitely don't love it. I can waste so much time on it.
Social media is definitely in Gen Z's wheelhouse, but young people have mixed feelings about it.
Just to stay connected. For some reason, feel a need to be up to date with what is really funny.
BYU freshman Summer Johnson says she has never had social media.
The random things that make you cultured from being on social media matter a lot less, I think, than people imagine. I feel like I make enough connections just in person and through just normal texting.
To work closely together to push back on policies with which
Utah Governor Spencer Cox wants Utahns to disconnect to reconnect. He has targeted social media companies like TikTok and Meta during his tenure.
It's just the dopamine of the scroll.
Gen Zers we talk to don't think bans and blocks are the way to go.
There are good parts and bad. I think if you use it in a moderate amount, I think there are positives to it.
It can be used for bad, but I think it all depends on how you use it.
Gen Z is sitting comfortably on the grid. Whether or not they'll stay there remains to be seen. Reporting for Universe Live, I'm Emma Everett Johnson.
Thanks, Emma. One local used bookstore is a popular attraction in downtown Provo. Universe Live's Annika Oran shows what keeps customers returning to Pioneer Book time and time again.
For 43 years, Pioneer Book has provided people in Provo with used books and collected theirs in return.
Pioneer Book is a general interest used bookstore selling books from a large variety of genres. The bookstore is located on Center Street and boasts more than 47,000 titles on hand.
Almost all of our inventory comes from customers bringing us things that they don't want anymore, and we offer in-store credit for books that people bring to us.
Employees say the store's inventory is a reflection of the interests of people in Utah Valley. Pioneer Book has a long tradition in the community. General Manager Scott Glenn visited the store as a BYU freshman in 1990.
It was a different vibe. It was smaller and crowded, and there were stacks of books everywhere.
The bookstore has maintained its popularity through the passing of years. Glenn says there is a steady flow of book lovers visiting the store.
All of us that work here, I think, find it really rewarding to help connect people with new books to read. And we love having conversations with people about what they're reading now and what they've read in the past.
Bookseller Corinne McClelland first came to Pioneer Book as a customer when she was in high school.
That first time I found one of my favorite books just on the stairs. And it was just I loved it. And so when I came down here for college, I kept coming back.
The store engages customers through rewards programs, customer pick shelves, birthday discounts, and hosting local events, including a couple weddings. And several hundred customers participate in the Pioneer Book Reading Challenge each year.
Just being next to books is very calming for me, and I also like with used bookstores, you never know exactly what you're gonna find in here.
And there's still time to complete the Pioneer Book Readers Challenge this year. Reporting for Universe Live in Provo, I'm Annika Oran.
Thanks for joining us today for Universe Live.
Have a great day.